The latest we heard was that there is a standoff there. What does all this mean, though, for the one country, two systems model of government? We can go live now to Andrew Leung, an international China strategist with decades of high-level service in the Hong Kong government. This anniversary has always seen some protest, but nothing on the scale of now, Andrew.
Well, this is really a climax of a groundswell of protest and resistance against this controversial extradition bill. But this is viewed as the last straw on the camel's back as far as one country, two systems is concerned, because the perception amongst a lot of people, especially the young people in Hong Kong, that the one country, two systems has been tilting too much towards the one country rather than the two systems. So I think that the front line, you can see the protests have been turning really violent. If this were to take place in any other city, I'm sure that the police would immediately, so it would cause bloodshed. But the police have shown tremendous restraint, learning from the bitter lesson only days ago, when a similar storming at the front line, resulting in the police firing tear gas as well as rubber bullets. And that resulted into a huge outcry against perceived police excessive force. But this time is really a test of their resolve, because this is a red line, and then if they allow the rioters to break into the Legislative Council building, we don't know what the consequences would be.
And just on that point, I mean, where does this, sorry to interrupt, where does this go from here? And what will China be thinking with these tens of thousands of people still out on the streets weeks after those first clashes?
Well, because this is not only you can see that the movement consists of many, many different parts. At the front line, there are the rioters, and there is reports about hired hooligans and suspicious forces are at work. And then, of course, these are the peaceful protesters. There are the anti-government legislators. At the end of the day, I think both Beijing and the Hong Kong government realize that if they allow themselves to be provoked into violent or drastic action, perhaps even sending out the PLA, that will be the end of one country, two systems. I think both Beijing and the Hong Kong government are fully aware of these risks.
Okay. Andrew Leung, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on Impact.